but like I said, not because they plan on doing nothing stupid or whatever, but just with those biblical outs for that person not to get no dough.
Hmm.
Tastemakers.
Class. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living.
These are these things that people have different opinions about when it comes to prenups and Christians. And what are we doing here? Should Christians sign prenups before they get married? Right? I've heard, hey, why let this little piece of paper that's going to sit in the closet forever? Why let that stop you from love? Why let that stop you? Right? I've heard, no, because if you really love me, I don't got to sign no paper. If you really was into me the way you saying you are. So I've heard both sides of the thing. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it destroy marriages. I've seen it save marriages. I've seen people be like, man, I'm glad I signed that prenup. I heard people say, you know what, that prenup we had, go ahead and rip it up. Because I love you now for real. This is like 5 years into marriage.
I love you now.
Yes.
For real.
I'm telling you, I've seen these conversations.
Okay. All right.
So when it comes to this prenup game, what we feeling? What's good? What's the vibes?
Should
Bree.
I? Oh, go ahead. Let Bree go first.
Oh, yeah. I used to be against prenups, but the older I get,
Bree,
it
don't
starts
say
to
this.
make more
Don't
sense.
do it to me, Bree.
I am in. Yeah, I'm in favor of them.
You're not saying for real.
Yes, I am.
If
A
anybody says
prenup,
this
a
podcast
prenup
is
will
Bree.
listen. A prenup will protect you from the people that aren't, and that's just where I'm gonna leave it.
No, man. I hate this, man. I hate it. I hate that we've come to this.
Key, you want to go ahead and jump in there? Or you want me to do it?
You can go because I know you have many insightful things to say. I'm
I don't
just
know
going
that I
to
do. Prenup, Christians. I think it sets a bad precedent.
Come on, quote. Talk this talk.
If we are getting in this marriage till death do us part, you know what?
Don't do it, quote. Don't do it.
If we're getting this marriage till death do us part, then I don't think a prenup is necessary, right?
That's typically why you get into marriage until death do you part.
Yeah. Is it though?
There is
Nowadays,
no
especially.
what?
So my question would be,
You got contracts on marriage? We've been married for 5 years and that's it.
my thing would be this. All right, I don't want to, but that's a stipulation. That's a prenup.
Quote, you fumbling with words, bro. Just say your mind, man. Just speak your mind.
So I don't know. So I believe
This nigga quote.
I believe there's rules to this, right? So I don't know all the rules, right? Like, so if as far as the divorcing and splitting dough, right? If, like, for instance, Jeff Bezos cheated on his wife, she divorced him, split his bucks. She's now the richest woman in the world. If she cheats and he divorces her for cheating, does she still get split the bucks if he divorces her?
No, the prenuptial agreement ultimately says what you came in with is what you leave with.
So yeah, I understand that. I'm talking about no. I'm saying no. If there's no prenup involved, I need Tasha. But if there's no prenup involved, and if somebody cheats, if she would have cheated, and he divorced her for cheating, she still gets half.
No, because the prenuptial agreement says what you came in this joint with, what you leave with.
I said no prenup. If there is no prenup,
If he cheats, well, no, I think no, but she can ask for spousal support if she's accustomed to a certain quality of life. I believe she can ask for spousal support.
if I loved you, I want you to have some kind of support.
Well, some men are not that way, Sugarfoots.
This is true.
Um, this is hard for me actually, harder than I thought it would be. But my initial thought is, I've
Charles,
what do you say?
if Johnny has 4 apples,
If the train crosses the tracks at 8 p.m. to get to the station by how many? Okay.
oh, Charles, that was good.
That's funny.
So in my heart of hearts, I'm gonna say no prenup. But I like to learn more because if somebody just want to act ratchet, like maybe that's what the prenups for. So maybe I'm in favor of prenups that only go into effect if certain things are not certain the same things that you will find in scripture that give you a cause or a reason or an out for divorce. I would have those things in the prenup.
Can you do that? Can you like make prenups like
Oh yeah, you can do anything with a contract.
circumstantial?
Right.
Yeah, you can do anything with a contract.
It's a contract.
Yep.
Ultimately, it's a
contract,
contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So that's my. I think that's my thought of it. Whatever the case may be. Ultimately, I'm a no prenup kind of guy, but I can understand somebody with a whole lot of money wanting that extra protection. Just but like I said, not because they plan on doing nothing stupid or whatever, but just with those biblical outs for that person not to get no dough. I think that's my joint.
You want to go first, Key?
Yeah, I personally think prenuptial agreements inside the kingdom are for people who didn't do the vetting process thoroughly enough. When I start dating, there is a gauntlet of people that the man has to go through. Gauntlet. I think prenups are for people who do dating in a silo in the kingdom. Now, in the world, I don't know, but in the kingdom, I will have vetted you so well that I will know whether or not you needed a prenup. You won't if there's an inclination that I would need a prenup with you, you don't get to make it to be my husband. Period. I will, because I'm vetting the crap out of you. Like I'm vetting you. I'm vetting you. I have 5 brothers you need to go through. I got 6 sisters you need to go through. I got 4 married couples you need to go through, and then my pastor. These are the people you need to go through. Like I'm not playing. I don't play like no.
So Key, I believe in the gauntlet. I'm
I
right
do.
there with you. I believe in the gauntlet. But I be lying. I believe the gauntlet is the safe space. You know what I mean? In the council of the wives, there's safety.
Mhm.
I have also, not, it's rare, but it happens. I've seen people go through the gauntlet, make it out on the other side, and do some damage.
Not my gauntlet. Melisson is a part of my gauntlet. Y'all gotta meet my brothers. If you knew my brothers, then you'd be like, oh no, they're gonna have to show up. Because my brothers, you have full range to ask all the questions. Take that Negro outside, stand around him like 50 did with all them niggas in the garage, and just grill him. Grill him mercilessly for 6 straight months. Do it. I don't care. I don't care. If it's not even about the protection of my assets. I mean, it is about the protection of my assets. A prenup is for the protection of all the things that I've accumulated over the course of my life. I get it. But before we get there, before we get to the talking about the things that I've created, the money I've made, the businesses I've created, all those kind of things, you have to go through them to get to me. I'm not spending any money on you. I'm not dating you if my brothers say nah. If you talk to my brothers and my brothers go and I ask them and they say baby, that's our first and final date. Whatever we had is what we had. I'm not talking to you after they tell me no. And so I safeguard myself in that way, like hardcore. I safeguard myself so much in this season because it's just absolutely necessary. Now, in terms of prenuptial stuff, I don't know. It depends. Because see, for me, prenuptial protects my assets because I need to know how you are with money. I need to know what your thought process is around money. I need to know what your entitlement is. I need to know how your heart behaves. I need to know what your spirit is like. I need to know all these things about you that determines whether I should protect my assets from you. And if I have to protect my stuff, my money, my stuff from you, we're not getting married. And my brothers will be able to tell me if I should protect my money from you. My brothers, my sisters, my friends, my pastor will be able to tell me, yeah, I don't know that he would do well. And I'd be like, oh, I don't want to leave, but I gotta go right now. It's about my friend.
VA.
So
I always question myself about do I take the the idea and the institution of marriage too seriously. And the reason why I ask that question to myself oftentimes is because, just like you said, Key, if I didn't think I had to sign a prenup, then you're not it. You know what I'm saying? But then hearing quote and hearing Bree talk, like they're cool with signing the prenups on that just in case vibe. You know what I'm saying? Or just in case this happens, because we change as people and we
Just in
whatever,
case.
whatever. So they try to do that, right? But then I think about it like this: in the Bible, right? The way Jesus arranged marriage, the way that he set up marriage to be, he set it up for it to be forever until you die. And it's not a thing of because you've changed, now I don't want to be with you anymore, or because you did this, I don't want to be with you anymore. So we are getting divorced outside of, cheating and what's the face. And he doesn't even say that you should leave if you cheat, or
It's just an out.
it's just an option if that does happen because you've broken the covenant. So we also know that Jesus hates divorce. He said that clearly in scripture as well too. Mm-hmm. So it seems like when we get down to the root of it, the marriage part of it is not about the tangible things that you do or don't do, but it's about the covenant that you're making with the person beyond
and with the Lord.
Yeah, the Lord too. Beyond the day of you just say I do when you do weddings. So y'all know I do a lot of weddings, and I explicitly say this in the weddings that I do. And I have this part in the wedding where I say, hey, you may not like this person tomorrow, but guess what? You make this covenant today, and you got to stay with this person, right? Because I want you guys to get out of the idea of this because you changed, now I want to leave, right? Because that's not what marriage is about. So,
and people change.
Having the prenup conversation, and I hear quote talk about, well, we can put these things in it. If this happens, then that's gonna, then that can change my idea of you, and I want to leave now. Or, Mother Bree, you know what I'm saying, out here saying, well, I used to not believe in prenups, but now as I'm getting older, I do believe in them. I think that we are being influenced by the world system of what they believe marriage and divorce and prenups, and we're not operating off of what God's system is for us. So I don't know. Like me, I would never sign a prenup. I would never ask my wife to sign a prenup, or my fiance. I would that's not in the cards because that's not what I believe marriage to be. I don't believe that it's a thing of if this or this happens, then I'll leave. So that's why I get bothered when Christians talk about signing prenups, because I believe that either I take marriage too seriously or y'all don't take it seriously.
No, I don't think so. A couple things, two things. John H. First comment: if a person can backslide and leave Jesus,
they can.
Jesus,
it's impossible.
So you would be one who would say then they were never with him.
I'm Calvinist.
So the next thing would say, and this is actually where I'm at. So me in my stage in my life, where I'm at, and the kind of money that I've had in my life, I would never do a prenup. But what I'm thinking of is what John H. is talking. Y'all would be also preaching prenup if he was sitting on Tyler Perry or Oprah money. You know what I mean?
That's why they're not married.
And, well, that's a whole nother ball game in itself, right there. That's
I wouldn't, though. I wouldn't, John. No, I wouldn't.
So my thing is I might, or whatever. I'm not sure. So that's number one. Number two is you said what did you say?
Goss?
Yeah. Goss, you said, oh, there we go. You're talking about like we're possibly being influenced by the culture or the world to talk prenup. And I would fire back and say it's the culture or the world systems that have created these systems and these laws in place where people get to split your bucks. In Jesus' day, people weren't splitting your bucks.
I don't get what your point is, though.
The point is the rules changed.
Jesus' rules changed?
We're talking about the world system rules.
What's the world system?
But that's literally what we're talking about. Is simply the world system.
I thought we were talking about should Christians get prenups?
We're talking about the ability to split bucks. This wasn't a thing
Okay.
200 years ago. You feel what I'm saying?
I think so.
wasn't.
This wasn't a thing 200 years ago. Splitting bucks. I don't know when did this happen. When did that actually start? I'd have to check it out. Yeah, but I'm just saying this wasn't a thing 200 years ago. So, so a system has changed. Therefore, maybe changing the joint. But again, I think I was very clear in saying that if I was to be, right now, I would not do a prenup. If I was to be somebody who had a lot of money going into a marriage, in the world system we live in, I possibly would do a prenup, but again, it would have the scriptural basis in there. So basically, just saying, if you do these things, you can't. If I divorce you because I don't like you anymore, which is just something I would never really do, but if I did, you split my bucks. You feel what I'm saying? But if you cheat on me, or if you abusive, if you doing some nonsense, you know what I mean? If you hurting the family, you know, physically, whatever. If you just become another person, which people, unfortunately, people do. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a different ball game. So again, I think it's about, this whole splitting bucks things is something that's just happened within the last couple hundred years. This wasn't something that's happened for majority of life on this planet.
Gotcha.
That's my thought process.
Corey's future wife, I think you should make Corey sign a prenup. And in your prenup, it should say that Corey got to read 2 Old Testament books a year. And if he don't read 2 Old Testament books a year, the contract is null and void, and Corey can't get none of your money. He got to read the Old Testament, though.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Interesting thoughts. I just feel like, though, well, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all know any Christians that have prenups right now?
Tia Mari and her husband.
Who?
I do.
Those are they Christian?
Tamara.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Tia and
I don't
Tamara.
Tamara. I'm sorry.
No, they
Am
are
I the only?
They're absolutely evangelical.
No. I'm being silly with Tamara. I'm messing more so with Tia and Corey. Tia and Corey piss me off. And somehow, some way, I low key think this is on Tia more than this is on Corey. Just watching that, like we
It's
never
never
did get.
fault. It's never Corey's fault. It's never Corey's fault. But go ahead.
Oh Lord.
Especially if he has the EY. But go ahead.
Well, anyway, no, but y'all peep that. We talked about that situation when it went down years ago, or a year or two ago, or whatever.
Yeah, a little bit.
But what did any of y'all ever really get any real vibe on that situation?
What happened again? I forgot.
When they divorced, she said that they had grown apart, and she had graduated from his character, something like that. I was like, how do you graduate from a character? Okay.
Wow. I think Devon and Megan said the same thing.
I heard that she was more so on some like self-care type stuff. Like she needed to take care of her type joint. It was I don't know. It didn't seem. It was weird. And I was kind of with that with the Devon and Megan joint too. I'm just all these Christians just, hey, let's divorce on some.
Megan got more money than Devon, so yeah.
I don't know. Devon got some bread.
Devon do got bread. He ain't got Megan bread.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I don't think he got Megan bread.
Really?
Megan been in the game for almost 40
Megan's
years.
been in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
She's had a lot of roles.
Megan got in the acting game when she was like Morgan's age. Morgan's like 5.
Yeah, but we know the
Morgan's
people
40.
But we know the people that make the movies get way more money than the people that act in them.
Yeah, but them residuals.
Yeah, for the people that make them too, they get that residual check.
I still don't think she's seeing his kind of money.
I don't know.
I don't believe so either. I'd have to look it up, but I don't feel that way either. But anyway, speaking of Tia,
Tastemakers.
Class. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers. Aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living, we make